Good morning, students. For week 5, our topic is still about triangle congruence. So last week, or for the fourth week, we tackled about the different triangle congruence postulates. So let us recall it first. So we had the SAS, the SSS, the ASA, and the AAS. So when you say SAS, so two sides and the included angle. So from our example, so we have two sides, the corresponding two sides. So AB is congruent to DE, so yung pareho ang mark. AC is congruent to DF, and angle A is congruent to angle D. So, two sides and the included angle. Pag sinabing included angle, nasa gitna siya ng dalawang side. So, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF by SAS postulates. Then we have SSS. So, S means sides. So, all three sides are congruent. All three corresponding sides of the two triangles are congruent. Therefore, the two triangles are congruent. So, AB is congruent to DE. BC is congruent to EF, and AC is congruent to DF. So since the three sides of the two triangles are congruent, therefore the two triangles are congruent. Anyway, we need at least three parts of the two triangles to be congruent in order to be said that the two triangles are congruent. So kailangan tatlong corresponding parts ng dalawang triangles ang congruent para masabi na yung dalawang triangles ay congruent. Okay, then we have the ASA. So when you say ASA, two angles and of course, an included side. Two angles and the included side. Okay, here, ang ating two angles, congruent. Angle B is congruent to angle E. Then we have angle A is congruent to angle D, and side AB is congruent to side DE. Okay, therefore triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. So included side, hindi pwede na yung side BC kasi wala siya sa gitna ng angle A at angle B. So hindi din pwede ang side DF kasi hindi siya sa gitna ng angle D at angle E. So, pag sinabing included, say for example, we have this triangle, A, B, C. So, say for example, ang angle B at angle C ang may mark natin. So, ang corresponding side niyan is BC. Okay, then we have the last one, the AAS. Okay, two angles and an included side. Or not included side. So, two angles, ayan. So, ang ating angles na congruent dyan ay angle A is congruent to angle D, yung pareho ang mark. Angle B is congruent to angle E. So, hindi pwede ang side AB dahil nasa gitna siya ng angle A at angle B. Kailangan yung unincluded side or non-included side. So, that is side AC. Pwede din na side BD. Pero kung sa una side BC. Kung sa una ang ating may mark ay side BC, okay. So, kailangan ang may mark dito ay side EF. So, since ang may mark dito ay side AC, so, ang may mark dito ay side DF. Okay, so since the corresponding side of side AC is side DF. Okay, now, let's proceed to our topic for today, or the main idea for today, the CPCTC. Okay, so CPCTC means corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So, when you say the two triangles are congruent, napatunayan nga nung apat na postulate kanina, the ASA, the SAS, the SSA, and the AAS. So, ibig sabihin, yung remaining parts ng triangle ay congruent also. So, let us have an example. Say, for example, this triangle ABC is congruent to triangle KLM. So, makikita natin, ang may mark dito is angle A, which is congruent to angle K, and angle B, which is congruent to angle L. Okay. And we have side AB is congruent to side AL. Okay, therefore, since tatlong parts yung congruent, therefore the two triangles are congruent. Okay, so, anong postulate yan? Of course, we have the two angles and the included side. So that is, the two triangles are congruent through A, S, A. And according to CPCTC, corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So, meron tayong tatlong parts ng triangles. I mean, six corresponding parts. Of course, meron tayong three angles sa triangle. Three angles. And we have, okay, three sides. Three angles and three sides. So, ibig sabihin, anim. Anim ang corresponding parts niya. So, napatunayan, so dito sa illustration, makikita na three corresponding parts are congruent. Therefore, the two triangles are congruent. So, dahil dyan, ibig sabihin, yung remaining parts na tatlo ay congruent din. Okay, so ano yung mga natitirang parts na congruent dapat? So, we have angle C is congruent to angle M, and side AC is congruent to side KM, and we have side BC is congruent to side LM. According to CPCTC, corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Since triangle ABC is congruent to triangle KLM, so the remaining three corresponding parts are also congruent. So, ito yung given natin dyan. So, may natitira pang tatlong parts. So, AB. Okay, so we can say now that AB is equal to KL, AC, and AC is equal to KM, BC is equal to LM. So, pag sinabing equal, pareho ang sukat. Then, angle A is equal to angle K, angle B is equal to angle L, and angle C is equal to angle M. Okay. So, let us have some examples. So, we're going to use the CPCTC concept to solve for the unknown parts of congruent triangles. So, let's have this example. So, we have the given triangle TOP is congruent to triangle MID. Okay, so dito, since congruent yung triangle TOP and triangle MID, we can say that the corresponding parts of the two triangles are congruent. So, side OT is congruent to side IM, side OP is congruent to side ID, and side TP is congruent to side DM. Angle O is congruent to angle I, angle T is congruent to angle M, and of course, angle P is congruent to angle D. Ayan. So, kailangan ito yung may parehong mark. So, yung opposite niya ay isa. So, isa lang din ang mark. Ayan, ganyan. Ito naman. Okay. So, let us continue. So, ang susolve natin ngayon ay ang sukat ng side DM side IM, and side ID, and also angle I and angle D. So, very obvious naman dito sa illustration na ang sukat ng angle M dahil siya ay right angle, this is 90 degrees. Same with angle T. So, since IM or MI is congruent to TO, so pareho sila ng sukat. So, if TO is 12 centimeters, therefore MI is also 12 centimeters. Next, we have DM is congruent to PT. Ito, PT and DM. Therefore, pareho din sila ng sukat. Okay, ang sukat nito is, okay, 9 centimeters. Therefore, kung ang DM ay kung ang TP ay 9 centimeters, DM is also 9 centimeters. And we have, okay, the last side, we have DI. Okay. DI is congruent to, this one, is congruent to OP or PO. Therefore, pareho din sila ng sukat. Okay, so kung ang PO is 15 centimeters, ang DI is also 15 centimeters. Now, let us have the angles. Okay, so since angle T and angle M are right angles, then they are equal. Of course, all right angles measures 90 degrees, so parang ang sukat nila. Okay, then we have angle I is equal to angle O. Since ang sukat ng angle I is 37 degrees, since ang sukat ng angle O is 37 degrees, angle I is also 37 degrees. Then we have angle D. Okay, and angle P. Yan yung nawawalang sukat. Yan yung angle na walang sukat. So, wala ding sukat yung angle P, wala ding sukat yung angle D. So, we have to solve now. Since the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees, so we can use the existing measurement of the two angles. We have angle O and angle T. So, ang sukat ng angle O is 37 degrees. Ang sukat ng angle T, dahil yan ay 90 degrees angle, at dahil yan ay right angle, is 90 degrees. So, just add 90 plus 37 is 127. Subtract natin yan sa 180. Dahil ang sum ng tatlong angles na yan should be 180. 180 degrees minus 127 degrees is 53 degrees. Therefore, ang sukat ng angle P is 53 degrees. So, if the measure of angle P is 53 degrees, of course, the measure also of angle D is 53 degrees since they are congruent. Okay, so angle D is 53 degrees also. Let us have the second example. So we have triangle SAP is congruent to triangle LET. So solve for the value of X and Y. Okay, so dito gagamit tayo ng mga algebraic expression. Okay, so the measure of the sides are in algebraic expression. So merong variable. So we have here, congruent ang side AS to side EL. Anyway, the two triangles are congruent to SSS postulate kasi three sides are congruent. So, if the three corresponding sides of the two triangles are congruent, therefore, the remaining parts, the three angles are also congruent. So, angle A is congruent to angle E, and angle P is congruent to angle T, and angle S is congruent to angle L. Okay. So, ang sukat ng SA natin is X plus 15. Ang AP is 28. Ang SP is 29. Okay. Ang ating LT is Y minus 4. Then, ating LE is 31, ang ating ET is 28. So, ang isosolve natin dito is yung value ng X and Y. So, SA is congruent to LE, therefore, SA is congruent to, SA is equal to LE. So, ang sukat ng SA is X plus 15, just substitute. Ang sukat ng LE is 31. This one. Okay. So, ilipat natin yung X. So, magiging from this equation, ilipat natin yung X sa kabila sa right side. So, magiging negative siya. So, 31 minus 15 is 16. Therefore, ang value ng X is 16. Okay, next we have to find the value of Y. Okay. So, SP is congruent to LT. Therefore, SP is equal to LT. Ang sukat ng ating SP is 29. Ang sukat ng LT is Y minus 4. Okay, so ilipat natin yung negative 4 sa left side. So, magiging positive 4. So, ang naiwan na lang dito is Y. Therefore, 29 plus 4 is 33. So, the value of Y is 33. Okay, so yun lang naman yung hinihingi dito sa ating last example. Solve for the value of X and Y. So, hindi naman hinahanap ang angle. Okay, so those are the examples of solving the corresponding unknown parts of congruent triangles.